Hi, orange belts. Now we're going to be working on those moves that we have to know in order to earn our first black stripe. That's the traditional movements. We have to learn the horse stance punching, down block in front stances, middle block in back stances. Let's do a quick review. If you already know them all, follow along. If you haven't quite got them down yet, that's okay. Just watch this section, and then we'll go into it in more detail. Ready, class? Today up! Traditional Jumbi position. Alright, first movement we're going to work on is the horse stance punches. So Miss Stephanie, horse stance position. One hand out, bend the knees, 5 punches. Loud yelling, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, stand up. Next, down blocking to the left in front stances. Ready? Full down block, 1. Back. Ready? Let's go this direction, Miss Stephanie. Step towards me. Ready? 1. And back. Ready? 2. And back. One more time. 3. And back. Now going to the right. Front stance, down blocking. 1. Back. 2. Back. And 3. And back. Now step into the left middle block. Ready? This is in a back stance. 1. Back. Make sure that fold goes underneath and comes out. Ready? 2. Back. Very nice. And 3. And back. Now, right hand stepping out to the right. Back stance, middle blocks. 1. Back. Ready? 2. And back. Make sure that right hand's folded underneath. Ready? 3. And back. All right. So those are our 3 movements. Remember, if you're doing it the right way, you should get your legs nice and tired after doing a few of these practices. Let's take a quick moment to review the horse stance. In the horse stance, our feet are open, wider than shoulder width. If you try to do it here, not going to work. You also don't want them to be super wide like you're doing the splits. About this far apart is good. From here, keeping your toes forward, you're going to bend your knees out and sink low. This is the horse stance. Okay? Go ahead, stand up. We're going to do it again. As you sink down, try to keep your toes from pointing out. If they point a little bit out, it's okay, but you want to try to keep them as far forward as you can. Ready? And go down low and come back up. Let's do it one more time. Go down low. Check your toes. Are they still facing forward? And then come back up. All right, good. Now we're going to work on the front stance. We're going to step to the left. I'm going to start here in my traditional Jumbi. I'm going to step to the left. My left foot's going to go. I'm going to turn every single toe facing this direction. Remember, front stance is very different from the other moves that we've done. We're not standing sideways like normal. We're standing square, straight ahead. My front toes are facing the opponent, and even my back toes are facing the opponent too. From here, I just want to sink my knee, or sink my body by bending my left knee. Just like that. If you look down and you can no longer see your toes, you're doing it good. If I can see my toes, it means my knee's not bent enough. Got to bend it a little bit more. All right, let's come on back. Let's do it again to the left. Ready, step out, down block. Good. Check yourself by looking at your toes. Be careful not to lunge forward. Keep your back straight. All right, come on back. Now we're going to step to the right. Right foot stepping out. Front stance, go. And when we do this, our front knee is bending. Our back toes are still straight towards our new opponent. Come on back. Let's do it again. Ready, down block, go. Check your knees. See if you can see your toes. Remember, don't lean over. Back. Do one more time going this way to the right. Down block, go. And back. Very good. When you're practicing your front stance at home, you want to make sure that it's a square. And what I mean by that is, if I imagine my feet starting together like this, I want to step into a front stance. I've got to go forward some amount. I'd say this is probably about 36 inches. Then I got to make my foot also go to the side, 36 inches. So they're equally wide as they are long. It's very common for people when they first get started to step without getting it into that square position. So imagine I started this way, and I wanted to step down block towards the camera. If I step here, I'm going to be a little bit off balance. What I want in my front stance is to make it square. When it's square, I have a good, solid foundation where I can do my down block from. I'll show you again. I'm going to start here, stepping to my left, just like that. My feet are square, wide, and long, and also bending that front knee. Okay? We got one more move we're going to work on. That's the back stance. When we do our back stance, we want to step out. Instead of stepping out into two different lines, like we did in the front stance, our feet end up on the same line because we're leaning back. Okay? We're going to step to the left, step into that L shape, bend both knees, ayah. Ready? Middle block, 1, ayah. And then come on back. Ready? Step 2. Good. Check your feet. They should be in an L shape, bending both those knees. Come on back. Let's do it again. Remember that left hand, the one that's doing the block? It has to start under, down low by my belt, and it comes up to finish in that middle block position. Ready? Middle block, go! Good. Check your legs. Your knees are bent. Left hand is about as high as your shoulder. All right, good. Come on back. Now we're going to step to the right. My right foot moves, creating that L shape, and I'm bending both my knees. Boom. Ready? Stepping out, middle block, 1. Very good, just like that. Come on back. Right hand, remember it goes underneath next to my belt, and then it comes upward to finish in that middle block position. Ready? Step out block, go! Excellent, and back. Last one, bend those knees. Don't bend over. Keep your back straight and bend your knees into a nice low stance. Ready? Go! All right, excellent. Come on back. All right, the last few weeks we've been practicing a lot on these stances. Today I want to talk about what our arms are doing. So when we're in the horse stance, or we're doing the punches, this part's pretty easy. One hand is punching, and because it's a traditional movement, I'm not punching to the face, I'm punching to the body. So my punch is going to be a little bit lower than normal. And when I punch with one hand, my other hand comes back and it guards against my rib like this. So when I punch, one hand's out, other hand's on my rib. Punch out, one out, other by my rib. If I have the side view, it looks like this. One hand to my rib, while the other hand's punching. 1, 2, 3. Okay? And make sure when your hand comes to your rib that it's turned. You don't want it to be like this. Palm up. So my hands are kind of switching in the middle. Switch. Now this one's palm up, this one's palm down. Okay? Now, when we do our front stances, instead of doing a punch, we're doing the down block. Now this one is very simple. I take my hands, they're both fists. One folds on top, the other folds on bottom. Just like we did when we were white belts and we learned Kamsa. Instead of a chop, it's a fist. Then when we do our block, this hand just comes down, and the other hand comes to that rib protection. So when we were white belts and yellow belts, we always were practicing putting our hand by our chin. That's the contemporary way to protect ourselves. In the traditional sense, instead of the chin, it comes to the rib. So when I do my block, right here, this hand's blocking low, this hand's on my rib. Let's try it. Down block, go, and back. Don't worry about the stances, just worry about your hands. Ready? Block, go, and bring it back. And one more time, go, bring it back. Good. So when we do these moves in the form, you start here, there's a quick fold, and then execute the down block. All right, the last one I want to talk about is number 3, the back stance, using that middle block. We already talked about the stance. Now we're just going to focus on the block. So I do the same fold, like I'm about to do a down block, but instead it's reversed. So instead of my left hand being on top, for this one, I want my left hand to be underneath. And then what it does is it comes from here out. And just like before, this hand is protecting my rib. So let's do it again. My left hand is folding underneath, down here near my belt or near my rib. And it comes a little bit upward as it finally clicks into place into this middle block position. Remember, it's not high, it's not low, It's middle. That's why we call it the middle block. Somebody's trying to punch you, boom, you're blocking it right there in the middle. All right, excellent work. Now it's time for us to go ahead to the next section. We got to do our practice. Great work on the curriculum section. Now it's time for us to practice. Please follow along with my count in the next section.
All right, Orange Belts, let's practice our traditional movements. Ready, chario. Kunye, bow. Traditional Junbi position. Go to horse stance, one hand out, single punching. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Guman. Return. Next, stepping to the left, down block in a front stance. 1. And back. 2. And back. 3. And back. 4. And back. 5. And back. Now stepping to the right, down block in a front stance. 1. And back. 2. And back. 3. And back. 4. And back. 5. And back. Stepping to the left, middle block, back stance. 1. And back. 2. And back. 3. And back. 4. And back. 5. And back. Stepping to the right, middle block, back stance. 1. And back. 2. And back. 3. And back. 4. And back. 5. And back. Cheerio. And show.
Great job with the practice section. Remember, parents, you can take a video of the students practicing during that section and send it to us. We'll be able to get back to you with some personal feedback and advice on how to get even better. See you next class.